Pocho, you're lame, dog. Quit saying my name, dog. You thirsty getting clout. You get no views on your podcast anyways, dog. Stop capping, my boy. Yeah, you reached out. You talk good about me. I never did an interview with you, my boy. You wanted to go on live. I never did, because why? I know what it is. You're making a narrative that's never going to happen. Dog, there's too much bloodshed, too much bullshit going on. Prison is prison. The streets is the streets.
BFD on the podcast coming straight out of Sacramento.
Hey, what it do, what it is, what it was. This is your boy Pocho of the Chicano Podcast. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications and support a real one in the field. What are we talking about today? Sacramento is in the news. Sacktown, Mactown. If you didn't know, I used to live in Sacramento. Deepest part of hell, Oak Park, and eventually downtown in a kind of nicer area by the gallery where my dad kind of understood where to move. Man, I love Sacramento, but it's a little too hot and a little too far. This is no diss to Sac, but I had to get on the mic, bro, because I saw a Dropout channel, bro, and they were just trying to blame No Jumper for these guys getting caught up. But anyway, what are we talking about today? Big, and I don't like to talk about the streets much, so we're just gonna touch a little on the streets and talk more about No Jumper and the Northerners. But today, I guess a vato named Big Jim and a bunch of homies got caught up in a drug bust in Sacramento. You can go look it up on the sheriff's site or something. But again, we're not gonna talk too much about this, but basically they got caught up like everybody gets caught up slanging and being in the streets, bro. You know, so free them all. The older I get, though, I'll be honest, I don't like criminals. You know, I work for a living. I do this for a living. I do everything legal, you know, and it costs more, it takes more time, and you don't get as much money, but it's the right way to go about doing things in life, you know, especially if you're a father. So I don't really respect criminals anymore. I wanted to make this podcast more about like a 15, 16-year-old me. When I was looking out at the world and I seen all these cholos, I wanted to be a gangster. I want there to be like somebody on the other side be like, nah, fool, that shit is cheesy and corny, bro, running around looking for dudes. Go find a female, make a baby, and have a life, you know, and stop. If you're gangbanging in 2026, bro, respectfully, dog, you're like the biggest loser in America, dog. Like, we have Trump destroying the world. We got wars going on. We got immigration, ICE raids, and you're still trying to destroy your people in the hood. I mean, it's an embarrassment, bro. In the 90s, you know, gangbanging was cool, you know, maybe early 2000s. But after about 2008, I'd say late 2000s, it didn't have the same that it used to, you know. So stop it. Find a new hobby, you guys, because if you don't, this is what's going to happen. So today, basically, there's a big dress bust in Sacramento, and a bunch of fools got locked up, and some of the people that went over to No Jumper with BFD.
On May 27th, a large-scale operation targeted Northaniel gang members and associates linked to a criminal organization for distributing of drugs. The investigation was a 2-month-long investigation that targeted Northaniels that just in coincidence happened to be on the No Jumper podcast a month before. This was a very large operation bringing down several Northaniel gang members or alleged Northaniel gang members. As you can see in this video, this was an early morning raid that arrested a Northaniel, also known and goes by the moniker Big Jim in Sacramento County.
BFD's not locked up. None of these fools, and Thumbs isn't locked up. But I think like this is like one of the guys that's behind these guys. You know, letting him use his you know, probably like their own gold toes. You know, hopefully he's not the guy, man, hating on gold toes. You know, because you never know. You know, these are studio gangsters. I just want to know like who the real people are that are hating. So, anyway, bro, the other content creator was trying to say that No Jumper gets people locked up. You guys, I have to be honest with you. Let me know in the comments. My bad. Let me know in the comments, you guys, if you think No Jumper is a federal podcast that really is getting information and getting people locked up. I don't think so. I'm sorry. I think that criminals in the music industry, criminals have always been part of this thing. Even in the mafia, had all those Sammy Davis Jr. and the Rat Pack, all those guys were connected to, you know, was it Blue Eyes? They were all connected to the mafia in some way or fashion and to the underworld. So the music industry has always had that, the underworld. And that's why a lot of people come from the underworld and start rapping and some start producing. But I want to talk to the youth, bro, and somebody that's coming up. If you're going to get out in the public, you got to stop criminal activity. I remember I was in LA with a Southsider that was really popular, and he was popping, but he was still hustling it, and he was from El Sereno. I'm not going to say his name. Shout out to Sereno. And I was like, bro, if we're gonna do this thing with Richard Cabral and we're gonna be like on a reality show and all this, you can't like it was gonna be like from the hood to Hollywood. That's what it was. Dang. I wish that would have worked out. But Richard didn't want like his career to be looked at like a reality show. So we didn't do it. But this Vato was still in the streets, being like a middleman. And I was like, bro, you got to stop this before we start this, because once we start this, you're going to get more popular and everybody's going to look into your life. Like the more I get popular, the more people try to look into my life and hate. Just trust me, bro. I wouldn't have got on the internet if I, if I wasn't the guy that I am, so stop it, bro. Or go to the police. Fucking straight levas, dog. But these fools go to No Jumper hella deep, I guess. I don't know why they were scared to go to LA and they had to go so deep. Maybe they're just having fun, or they could have been using it as like a front for, to hustle. But these guys go to No Jumper, and like a couple months later, they're indicted. And not BFD, not Thumps, but I guess like the ride that he used to ride Thumps uses in his music video, and he was right there with BFD at No Jumper. But I think it's a stretch for us to keep blaming Adam22, even though he blocked me, I think. Keep blaming him for people getting arrested at No Jumper. You need to blame yourself, bro. You guys got to stop getting on interviews, bro. I mean, I just cannot believe that we can't understand this as a criminal world, bro. There's a couple pictures of us like throwing up signs, but I can't even imagine us going on the internet and talking about the crimes we were committing when we were kids or whatever. It's just insane, dog. That's why your reputation should precede you. You don't need to talk about it, but that's why when these guys get on the Paperwork Podcast, I don't understand it, because I don't think that you could be an active Norteño gang member and be on the internet. I think that's a contradiction. I think that you, in my opinion, this is just my little, and we're just talking, bro. Remember, people, I don't know you guys. It's just my opinion. I always get tripped out on how much you guys cry, bro. Our people are some of the, most lack courage, and they're lames, bro. A lot of our community are lames, bro. They get on comments and type really hard, but they don't do nothing. They don't really say nothing. They try to make fun of my man bun, bro. I did this on purpose, my boy. You guys are balding, so it's just like, it's sad to see, bro, that we always blame everybody else for our problems. No, these guys got locked up because they're criminals, because they're poisoning our communities and bringing guns into our communities and dividing our people. And we need to be united. This is the time that we need to be united. So anybody that's against our people needs to get run over, dog. In the prisons, they've already united. So I don't understand why we can't at least unite over the politics, of the streets, and then just move into personal beefs or whatever. But it is what it is. These fools are going to probably do a gang of time. I hope they don't. I don't believe in any man being in the prison system, because I do think that it's exploitative. It's you grew up in the hood with a lot of, if you make one bad decision in the hood, you're locked up forever, bro. Or you make like 4 or 5 bad decisions in the hood, you're locked up. But if you make a couple of decisions in a rich neighborhood, you're like eccentric. You just need a little bit of support. And that's like the difference in the communities, bro. So these guys, I don't blame them for becoming criminals, because they had nothing else. But at a certain point, at a certain age, you got to decide, fast money or real money. That working every day, dog, it sucks, I tell you. But at least I never have to worry about, some cops knocking down my door, you know what I mean? And me somebody having to come to my daughter and say, hey, your dad's not going to be back till you're a teenager or you're in college. Some of these guys aren't going to see their kids in real life till they're grown-ups now, because they were selfish, because they wanted easy money, because they didn't see the value in hard work. Shout out to all the men right now, dog, that watch this, that are construction workers, forklift drivers, taxi, Uber drivers, security guards, man, working at, like Safeway. Whatever you got to do, man, don't be embarrassed. Even fast food, whatever, homie. At least when I see the dude like giving me food from fast food or something, because every once in a while I still eat fast food, and I'm like, man, that fool's a real vato. Like at first you'd want to be like, oh, it's embarrassing to work at fast food, but bro, it's embarrassing to be broke. You know what I mean? So anyway, people, I just want to know in the comments below, though, do we blame No Jumper for these guys getting locked up? Is it really No Jumper's fault, or is it the criminals that are getting online? No Paperwork Podcast, the reason I have a problem with that is because I believe that the police use their podcast to know what's going on in the Norteño community. you know, somebody watching me, I'm talking about the South, the North, East, West, everything, you know, so they're not going to be really prone to watch me like that, but they're going to be prone to people that say they're gang members on the internet and then watch what they do. You know, you're rapping about committing crimes, being a criminal, bro. You're dry snitching. So in my opinion, No Paperwork Podcast and all these northern rappers, I'm sad to say, bro, they're mostly dry snitches. All gangster rappers, in my opinion, are dry snitches. And I don't know, dog. It's just getting to a point where rappers are just like lames, bro, you know? And all the people around them, like I bet that these fools just wanted clout, bro. That's why they all get around this fool BFD and go down to LA. And why would you put yourself, if you're a real gangster, why would you put yourself in such a vulnerable position? You know, when I was in the streets, I never put myself in vulnerable positions. I knew where to be, how to be, where to go. I would never try to be a tough guy and like go push up into areas for no reason unless I really needed to. And that's what made me survive, bro. I was strategic. It's chess, not checkers. So stop blaming Adam. Stop blaming No Jumper. Take responsibility. And I'm not saying that the Northerners aren't. I'm saying we got to stop blaming white people. We got to stop blaming these platforms that are platforming these criminals. We got to blame the criminal for his own, actions in life, bro. And Again, I don't want nobody to be locked up, but at the same time, if you're going to be poisoning our community, bringing guns, especially ghost guns into our community, especially with all this fetty and stuff, you know, for me, you're a sucker, dog. You know, like if you can't program in society, bro, then you shouldn't be part of society, and that's why you get locked up. So in that way, I understand it. I'm happy that there's not criminals on the streets, and you could call me a JCAB, but I'm a 43-year-old man, dog, and I want to have more kids, and I want to have a safe communities, dog, and we need to get help to the people that want help, but we do need to lock up the people that aren't going to go with the program of life, of more liberty, of more freedoms. You're stomping on my freedoms by making it unsafe, you know. So anyway, I know I'm blabbing on. I know you guys are just super into gangs and love. Like, imagine advocating for cancer. Like, oh, hey, come over here. Let's get cancer. Let's get AIDS. Let's die. Let's die early. Let's go suicide. Let's all these things. Let's go fall off a cliff or whatever. That's what gangbanging is, bro. It's not even for anything, you know? There's not even a real cause, bro. It's a criminal cause. At least the Black Panthers, the Brown Berets, people like that, they died for something, you know? Like they say, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. You know what I mean? A lot of you fools are falling for this cheap cause when you could be fighting for the bigger Chicano cause or the bigger American cause and bring our people together. Bridges, not barriers. This podcast is about constructively criticizing things that are negative on the internet. Remember, I don't bring anything from that's not on the internet. This other Dropout channel was like saying all these like conspiracy theories, dog. And that's what I don't like about these fools. They create these conspiracies that aren't even real. Then the cops can like get into that. And me, no, I'm talking about exactly what's on the internet. That it's not No Jumper's fault. It's not the cops' fault. And that our community needs to take responsibility for ourselves. Help the guys that are turning into criminality. Like they have Homeboy Industries, but we need one up north. And move into entrepreneurialism. I can't even say it. Like being a photographer, being a barber, being an electrician, being a welder, having a small business, being a locksmith. I don't know. Something that's productive to our society, you guys. Man, our community kids, guys that watch this, I know I'm not like hella popping, but man, you guys got to grow up. And to the men that are already growing up, that are working, take care of the families, that's the real gangsters, bro. Not these fools that are getting federally indicted or getting indicted and missing out for their, some of these guys are probably not going to see their kids for 5-6 years, or at least like even on the short term, a couple months, bro. So the money better be worth it, bro. But for me, it's not. So I stay home. I work hard. I criticize what I don't like on the internet, and I move on, bro. Anyway, let me know if this vato. Main thing is No Jumper. If they're FBI, because I know a lot of people do get locked up, but I don't think it has to do with No Jumper. I think it has to do with them bringing on criminals that are still active in the streets that need to calm down before they get on the internet. So homies, don't get on the internet and do not be around rappers or any public influencers or anything if you're still in the streets, because you will get the ojo will be on you sooner than you think. This is your boy Pocho of the Chicano Podcast. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and support a real one in the front, and let me know if you think No Jumper is an FBI agent or if it's just the responsibility of the homies to be more responsible with their gangbanging and their criminal activity. This is your boy Pocho One, and I'm out.